everyone, and welcome to tonight's edition of Cooking with the Cap Times. I'm Kayla Wynn, the K-12 reporter at the Cap Times. And here with us tonight is Staci Fritz of Calliope Ice Cream. She's going to be teaching us how to make a sweet corn ice cream sundae with a little bit of a Mexican vibe.
Yeah.
Those are words that I never thought I would be saying altogether, but it does sound delicious. So before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors. We're here in the lovely Casanix kitchen space, our kitchen sponsor. Producing the video tonight is Hinkley Productions, and our wine sponsor is Leopold's Books Bar Cafe. They selected the wine that we're going to be having tonight, and if you're at home watching, you can win this yourself. All you have to do is submit whatever questions come up in the chat down below. Staci will answer them, and then I'll have the tough decision of deciding who has the best question, and that person will win the wine. Also, if you want to join us live and in person, all you have to do is give whatever amount to become a member of the Cap Times. You can do that at membership.captimes.com.
Perfect.
So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Lindsay Christians, our food editor at the Cap Times and the host for tonight's show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kayla. You're filling in beautifully. Hi to Beck at home. We miss you. I really wanted to very quickly just tell you a little bit more about this wine because we don't have the video from MJ like we usually do from Leopold's. But the wine that you're playing for at home is this Sauterne. It is a wine from the Bordeaux region of France. There's great details about it at the bottom of the recipe if you have the recipe at home. But so suffice it to say, it's made using grapes that have been subjected to noble rot. And basically that means that they're like fermenting just a little bit on the vine, but not so much that they just fully turn into mush. It makes them very, very sweet. So the sweet wine is going to go with our ice cream tonight. I am going to be chilling it for the folks who are here tonight just because I like Sauterne a little bit chilled. That's personal preference. This is a delicious wine. It's the kind of thing you only need like an ounce or two of at the end of the night. It's beautiful. It will last for a good long time. Well, I guess it's 13% alcohol by volume, so it won't last forever. But it is very delicious. A little bit over ice, or a little bit over ice cream is wonderful. So anyway, Sauterne from our wonderful friends at Leopold's Books Bar Cafe. MJ Egots is the sommelier who picked this out for us. She does an amazing job. So with that. Oh, thank you, Vanna. Staci, welcome. I am so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. This is going to be fun.
It's going to be really fun.
If ice cream isn't fun, you are super doing it wrong.
Oh my gosh, see, there you go. So I ran into you at a Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra gala event. It was called Concerts in Cuisine, and you were making this like sweet corn ice cream, and I started remembering that Calliope ice cream is really known for these very inventive, often savory flavors, unusual things. So tell us a little bit about Calliope and about sort of the aesthetic behind it.
So Calliope was founded with the idea, basically, that it's a big world of food out there, and you know, sweet ice cream is delicious, of course,
Yes.
Duh. But there's a lot of things that you can do with ice cream that aren't just the usual things: chocolate, caramel, fruit. Like that's all good. But once you really start thinking about it as not just a sweet, anything. I mean, for me, it really can be just about anything, as you've seen.
Yeah, I was looking through some of the flavors, and a couple of things that I noticed. One is that you really like to play with spice, like what I think of as like pepper heat, not hot heat, but like spice heat, like in ginger or chili peppers or that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, unless you're a person who doesn't like spice, but if you are a person that likes spice or is open to spice, it's really, really good in ice cream, and it's really different. You don't, like we have a Mexican hot chocolate, and it's got chocolate and then cinnamon and chipotle pepper. But you don't immediately notice the chipotle. I will tell people like, oh, this is hot. And they try it and they look at me like I'm kind of crazy. And then I swear, 5 seconds in, there it is. And it hits you different. It's kind of more in the back of your mouth. And it's
like a little build.
Yeah. Jalapeno, don't even get me started. Jalapeno and fresh jalapeno and ice cream. I do that with all kinds of fruit. It's one of my favorites. the cream kind of softens everything in a really good way. So some of those sharp flavors that you get, some of the sharper spice, it softens it, and you just end up with more of the grassiness of the jalapeno and a little bit of heat. You know, hopefully. Sure. I mean, fresh jalapenos can be anywhere from blow your socks off to glorified green pepper. Yeah. But so depending on what you get, but you always get that flavor.
Yeah.
So
I always like it's either like just a green pepper or it's like touching the sun. Like it's like
right.
You know, it's like, oh God, like there's nothing in between. And I love that, but I also love like you had flavors like fresh tomato. Right, yeah. Which is a highly, like, tomatoes are acidic, like sweet and acidic, or like dirty martini with like olive kind of flavors. That's fun too.
Gin in ice cream, also a fantastic thing, as I found out. Tomatoes, when you put them in ice cream, it turns, they get pretty subtle. So I'm always trying to roast things. You know, water is kind of the enemy of ice cream. So I will do a lot of roasting. Like tonight, I'm going to roast the sweet corn. It gets the water out. It intensifies the flavors. So with tomatoes, I will get a bunch of tomatoes and just roast them. And so at that point, you could either have a really awesome, marinara, or you can put it into ice cream. And so, still with all that, it's a more subtle flavor. We'll have that up in August. That's one of my August flavors at the Scoop Shop. And I keep it whole. Like I keep all the seeds, I keep the skin. I'm always trying to get as much flavor that's as possible, because the cream will, try to kill the flavor, and I'm trying to bring the flavor. So, but people will try that one because they'll be like, "What?" And you really, if you taste it, you're like, "Is this like a strawberry?" But you'll get a tomato aftertaste. Is where you'll notice that you might actually be eating tomato ice cream.
That's really fantastic.
But it just tastes kind of like a mild strawberry-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an ice cream maker that was given to me for my wedding, and I used it once, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this that often. But my friend borrowed it from me and made avocado ice cream.
Yeah.
Which was fabulous.
Yes.
But it makes you think about ways that you can use ice cream in dishes beyond just putting it in a cone.
Oh yeah, there's more than one that I have done. People have said to me, "Oh, this would go really great on a charcuterie board."
Yeah. Oh, fun.
Right?
Because ice cream charcuterie board. You heard it here first.
Right. So coming soon. No, but because it's got one foot in the savory world.
Yes.
Or spicy world, or some other world that's not normal ice cream.
Nice. So the ice cream that you're going to be making tonight, this is a sweet corn ice cream. Tell me a little bit about how you developed this, where this came from.
Just like most of my ice cream, it is me messing around. It's me. Sometimes people will come at me with ideas. I respond well to a challenge, or poorly to a challenge. I mean, I guess it depends on how you feel about my ice cream. But I think it was just like, what's in season? Sweet corn. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in the same way that we do the tomato, in the same way that I'm putting in jalapenos from the garden. It's just, let's try it. It's really hard to screw up ice cream. And I can tell you, I have tried. Like so even if I'll start with a certain flavor in mind, or something that I want to get towards. And even if it's like, oh, that's not quite there, it's still good.
Okay.
So that was it. And salt and butter in ice cream is really awesome.
Oh yeah.
I do a brown butter sage, brown butters. Oh, I mean, yeah. So
that sounds so good.
So you whatever you can think, you can do. Whether that's good or bad, I'll leave that up to people at home to decide. But really, it's you can play with it, and you probably will end up with something edible.
Nice. Okay, so where do we want to start here?
So the first thing I need to do is get my corn roasting. So we're going to roast it for about 20 minutes.
Do you want me to move some of this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You can see the exciting me cutting corn off the cob and watching it roll everywhere. So what I'm hoping for is to end up with like a generous cup of fresh corn. And and I have thought about making just without cooking the corn to see if that would, but that's kind of a delicate flavor. And it's really hard to have delicate flavors just come through the ice cream.
So cooking it sort of intensifies it then a bit?
Yeah, it gets rid of the water. It just kind of intensifies it. And also, if I'm using any kind of fresh fruit or fresh vegetables, I have to sanitize them. With ice cream, you have to be constantly kind of hands in sanitizer, because you don't, if anything is funky is in your ingredients, in your fresh fruit or whatever, you're not going to cook it and get rid of it. You're not cooking it out. So that said, I should probably have a glove on. So, so this is, let me get my glove, excuse me. So I can see how much we ended up with.
How do you figure out, how do you figure out like the proportions of how much you want to put in an ice cream? Like, do you ever do tests where you're like, no, I just want more of that, more tomato, more corn, more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also science involved. There's, certain, and I'm that's not my thing.
Me neither.
Right? So I usually learn by screwing things up.
I appreciate that.
And there is obviously there's science involved in all this. You have to have a certain amount of sugar in your ice cream. You have to have an emulsifier. You're fighting water. You're fighting ice. You're fighting all kinds of things to end up with a creamy ice cream. And so, yeah.
I will say that was the thing when I made ice cream those years ago. We had ice crystals in it that were unpleasant. And I was like, oh, well, this didn't, I don't know if I did it wrong or if I just didn't churn it long enough.
So one thing with ice crystals in ice cream, at my shop, I have what I call a super freezy freezer. That's not the professional term. By the way, I believe it's a blast chiller. But it is down to, it is kind of like a hardening cabinet. As soon as I make ice cream, I get it in there as fast as possible so that those ice crystals, which of course always exist, don't have time to grow and get big.
Ah, okay.
So you don't end up with icy ice cream, because that's when you get the ice, is if it's very slow to chill, those ice crystals are like, woohoo, so if you get it, the faster you can get it cold,
okay,
the less crystals you will have.
Nice, okay.
But there's a lot of, but that's not necessarily the problem. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong.
Okay, all right.
So I don't know what you did. But you should have kept playing with it.
Oh.
See, maybe you'll get. You gotta find it. You gotta find it. Dig it out. So anyway, so here we go. And let's see. So I need. Excuse me. How do you guys like salt? Salt? Yay? Nay? Salty? No? All right. So from this is kind of, I tend to like salt, but not everybody does. So in the recipe, I believe I called for 3/4 teaspoon. If you want a little less salt, you can do a 1/2 teaspoon. It is some of this is to, this is frankly, this is all to taste. It's make it how you like it. So, and we also put just a little bit of salt in when I make the base, which we'll be doing next. But this takes the longest to kind of get started, so we'll do this for now.
Okay.
And we're gonna try out the combi oven.
Connie the combi.
Well, this is great. At my scoop shop, I don't have a cooktop.
Oh, okay.
So anything I do is in a combi oven, because I share space with the Ian's Pizza.
Okay.
And we don't have a cooktop there. So I learned how to, I don't make ice cream at home. Like this, when you said, hey, do you want to teach people how to make ice cream? I was like, Sure. First, I have to learn, like how to make it at home. I don't come from an ice cream at home background. I
Okay.
learned how to make ice cream on a $25,000 Stolting batch freezer.
That's fantastic.
So,
you're like, okay, let's adapt it back. Like, we're going
right? So
backwards.
so let's see how this really goes. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that. Let's see. So I'm done. Am I done with the butter? I think I'm done with the butter.
Just put it to the
I'll put it to the side.
in case we're not done with the butter.
Right? Who knows? I don't know. We're winging it. This is the Wild West.
All right.
Okay, so next we can get started on making the base.
Okay.
So because again, I buy my base from a place in Neenah, Wisconsin.
Oh,
and
okay.
it comes in like 2.5 gallon bags.
So, and that is ice cream base. So
It's my base. It's my milk
is-
cream stabilizer, basically. So my base that I work with at my scoop shop does not have eggs.
Oh, okay.
It's not a custard. They call it Philadelphia style. I don't know why Philadelphia. I don't know how they got involved, but that's just the cream milk stabilizer.
stabilizer. That's not like an emulsifier. That's
It is an emulsifier.
Okay.
But like in my case, it's like a guar gum.
Yeah,
It's
like
right?
a xanthan gum.
Yeah.
I bought xanthan gum one time because I wanted to make smoothies that stayed together.
Yeah.
And so I still have this like huge thing of xanthan gum that I never use.
I know you can
get
buy
so
like
much,
10
yeah.
pounds of it, and it's like, okay,
I need this much.
I
you
will
know.
will that to my children and their children. Everyone
Exactly.
enjoy my xanthan gum. So, so that already comes because, like I said, this ice cream is not my full-time job. It is still just a side
Nice, okay.
hustle. So, but now part of my side hustle is
Making
ice cream for the scoop shop. So, I know, and you can make your base from scratch.
Okay.
I just, at that level, I don't see a difference in what, and I'm not going for a custard at that level. I'm just going for hard pack ice cream.
So the thing that makes a difference between like ice cream and custard and gelato and whatever is the base.
I think so. I
Yes,
don't know
okay.
much about gelato.
Okay.
What I do know is the difference between just the Philadelphia style and then the custard is egg yolk.
Oh, okay.
So this is all about egg yolk. And so I tried them at home because I'm learning, right? I'm like, oh, I have to teach people, I better learn. So I tried the Philadelphia style and for the home cook, if you don't want to buy all that xanthan gum, you can use corn syrup.
Nice.
And that's
okay.
another thing that it just needs something it's an ingredient that makes the fat and the water play nice together.
Okay.
Because that's what you are trying to do
Okay.
here with any kind of an emulsion in the ice cream. Egg yolk does the same thing. But I tried the Philadelphia. It was fine. It was good. You know, again, hard to screw up ice cream. But then I tried the egg yolk custard version. Wow.
Okay.
And I was worried. I was like, oh, I don't want it to taste like eggs. In this case, I mean, I'm not saying never, but it doesn't taste like eggs. It tastes like heaven. It's really good. So I got to cracking eggs. Shout out to my neighbor Lori, whose brother has hens and has kept me in so many eggs this past 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh, that's really great.
Yeah.
Looking at
So
They're
I
different
know.
colors.
I know. Look at
Different
beautiful.
color hens.
I
love
know. I know.
This guy.
So yeah, hopefully they're all good.
We'll find out.
Okay, so I will need this again. Post corn. Don't let me forget to check on the corn in like 7 minutes.
Okay.
Somebody set a timer. or
7
something.
minutes. Check
7
on the
minutes. So
I'll set it.
Thank you.
don't need this anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to make my base. So we've got whole milk and cream. I got this recipe from the New York Times. It was like the only ice cream recipe you'll ever need. Whatever. It's like, okay, that's a bold statement, but they're not that wrong. In their recipe, they originally called for 2 cups of whipping cream and 1 cup of milk. I thought that seemed, because I was adding a flavor that was slightly more delicate, I thought that was maybe a little too much cream, and I don't know. I didn't need it. It also felt a little bit little too much. That said, if you were gonna make something ultra rich and you just wanted a little bit and you wanted like a really awesome vanilla ice cream, you can go 2 cups of cream, 1 cup of milk. I just liked it half and half. Or if you're looking for something a little less, you could go 2 cups milk, 1 cup cream. As long as it's about 3 cups, I think you're going to be fine.
Okay.
That's my guess. Oh, I need a liquid measuring.
Liquid measure. Ooh. Ta-da. Beautiful.
Ta-da.
Okay.
All right. So, and my sugar. So what we're going to do first is, this is the sugar, not the salt, right? Okay.
Yes.
You don't want to do that. Make for a really good video. Okay, so.
Cup and a half of is whole milk?
Cup and a half of whole milk.
And your pan right now is off, or is this on low?
It is on very low.
Very
so
low.
The induction heating, I'm used to working at home on a gas oven, so we'll keep an eye on this and see. I'm sure it'll be fine. So there's our liquid for our base. The thing to remember with this base, or any ice cream base, is you want to make it at least 4 hours ahead of time.
You can take them over there.
Or
Yeah.
the day before if you really have your act together. You can cool it down over an ice bath and whatever. I think I made the most I pushed my luck was I think it was like maybe 3.5 hours, and it was fine. It just won't be as cool to start with, so it won't cool as well once you get going.
Okay.
So you want your stuff refrigerated cold. So also we need
A 3/4
about
cup?
3/4 cup of sugar.
Does it matter what kind of sugar you're using to like?
I just used white sugar. If you wanted to, I guess you could play with other things if you wanted, like a flavor. If you they all bring a flavor if they're not
Right.
white sugar.
Like a vanilla sugar or a brown sugar. Or something.
Right. So that's 1/3 of a cup. I don't want that. And so we just really want to get this, the sugar melting into the milk cream. And spatula. This is exciting, working in a brand new kitchen.
Little spatula, long spatula.
This is fine.
Okay.
And I
Got
guess
some
just a
eggs.
pinch of salt. Pinch. Anytime I try to do this without measuring it into my hand first,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's a terrible idea. Yeah, but yet I still try it. Okay, so this is just low and slow. No rush. Just you and your cream and your sugar. Just
The technique that I think will be like good to sort of demo is the tempering, because like making sure that you're bringing your eggs up to a more similar temp, like a little bit slowly, so they don't scramble.
Right.
Which I have done.
You don't. Everyone has done it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I was reading, as I was trying to learn, I was reading the Culinary Institute of America's frozen dessert book, which weighs about 75 pounds, by the way. I got like 5 pages into it. But they were saying that it's not necessary, for the CIA says, it's not necessary to have the eggs start differently. I could, theoretically, according to them, have my yolks in here now and just be bringing it up to
Slowly
temperature.
to temp. Yeah. Okay.
But the New York Times disagreed, and that's who I was following.
Okay.
So anyway, so this is going to be fun. We get to separate eggs live on camera. I've gotten fairly good at it.
Nice.
However, if I'm ever gonna get yolks and shells all over the place, now will be the time.
Okay, I'm gonna go on this side of you. Give you a little room.
Right? Watch out, yolks are flying. Okay.
This is how my mom taught me too. The shells back and forth. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
here we go. That's all right.
All
We
right.
got it. So, right, and I was, because I'm not a very, oh no, see, here we go. I'm not a very chefy chef, right? As you can tell. But, and I thought about getting like one of those egg separators. They're super cute.
What is that? What's an egg separator?
It's like a little,
It's like a slotted spoon?
well, there are some that are like
Okay,
that, but there's
okay.
some that are really cute. They've got like a little duck with a little mouth. It kind of separates, and I thought, oh, that'd be fun.
It's kind of cute.
And then I thought, well, but do you really need to spend that $7? Maybe not. Just keep cracking the eggs on the edge of a bowl and hope for the best.
There's so many like little culinary tools you'll see in a gift shop, and you think nobody needs that, but it's shaped like a tiny orange. Like
Right? I know. They almost got me.
Yeah.
They almost got me.
there was a while I had 3 garlic presses in my home for no reason. Oh, that's
Our
7
corn
minutes.
timer.
Let's check
Oh,
the corn.
Let's check the corn. Yee.
I want to turn this up just slightly. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
I trust with another pair of eyes in the kitchen. I trust that it won't go horribly awry. And if it does, whatever.
And if it does, it's
It's-
my fault.
It's just ice cream.
It's just ice cream.
It's just ice cream. So let's see what my okay. That's
it
good.
smells good. The corn smells good. You can smell
Yeah,
it
it's
here.
getting roasty. Well, I suppose I can use a spatula. I don't know.
Oh yeah, do you want me to grab you a spatula? I can grab you a spatula if you need one. Oh, you got one.
I got it. So it starts to get nice and brown around the edges. And I like a little color on it. Otherwise, you're looking at just a really very beige ice cream.
It smells yummy. It smells really good. Let's all
Yeah.
just roast corn, guys. Like, oh, it smells so yummy.
I know, butter and salt, it is magical.
Oh, I bet you
Okay,
could do it in coconut oil too. It'd be really good.
so maybe another 7 minutes. I don't know.
Thank you,
Things are
Kayla.
getting pretty. Thank
We
you.
need it to go a little faster.
No, I think
we're
it's
good.
good.
Okay.
No, we're good.
She was asking if we needed to like crank the heat on the oven. But
No, because I would 100% start talking and forget about it, and then we would end up with really dark corn.
I feel like the new combi oven is more.
Robust.
Well, it's louder. she's louder. She's more vocal
Yep.
than Connie 1.0 or whatever we're calling Connie 1.0. Connie the combi. Okay, this smells really good too. Actually, I think. Or am I smelling the corn? I'm not smelling the sugar in here.
So yeah, is it feeling like there's no more sugar? Like you don't feel anything? A fork
question.
or something for, I know. A whisk. Oh yeah.
Wait, to get the
To yolk.
I'm
Thank
stirring
you.
this because I feel like what has happened to me is it will do a skin.
Yeah.
And
It does a little bit.
And do we care if there's a skin?
Not that I know of. I don't know. Somebody might have opinions. They can comment and tell me.
It reminds me of making hot cocoa on the stove
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. You know, when you heat it up like that.
All right. So.
It's the most fun way of making hot cocoa.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. So
This is what this looks like. It just looks like cream.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that there's no sugar anymore. The sugar has dissolved into the cream.
And you can feel there's no.
Yes, there's no
it's
sugar.
all just.
Yeah.
So here comes the tempering part where we all hope that we don't end up with.
I
eggs.
believe in you.
Well, again, I've had good luck at home, but I also haven't had the camera on me as I've been doing this. So we
The
shall
pressure
see.
of the camera.
I know. I would behave a lot differently at home if I had a camera on me at all times
Yeah.
in the kitchen. All right. So
So we do have a question.
Oh, great.
If you wanted to use a liquid sweetener like honey or maple syrup, would you need to make any changes for the liquid in the rest of the recipe?
Yes. You would need, honey is pretty difficult to work with. I haven't done a lot of work with honey because it's a whole different kind of sugar kind of thing. Oh, we'll need that still on.
I'll turn it back on in just 1 second.
All right.
Making a beep.
So far so good. I don't see. Look at that.
All right,
Okay.
it's back on.
All right.
When the pan goes on it, it will turn on.
Ta-da. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, no scrambled eggs. I consider this a success so far.
It immediately went to 10, and I remember Lauren said, if you have it at 10, it will scramble your eggs, and we don't want that.
No, this is, again, kind of low and slow, low and slow. This doesn't pour nearly as well as that other one.
For anybody who's working with an induction burner, this is on a 2 right now, and then we had it on a 3 for a little bit. So pretty low.
Yeah, at home I had on my gas oven, I had it on kind of a pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I mean, you're not going to get in trouble with it low. You could get in trouble with it high. So
Right. So right now, we're just dissolving the sugar. We're incorporating the egg to get this kind of creamy base for the ice cream.
yes, so this is our base, and we're cooking it we're getting it to 170 degrees. This is I should buy a new one of these while I'm here. But this is my
I'm
temperature.
sure they have them at Castings.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where I got this one. It is old and pretty janky, but it has, again, worked thus far. So we're going to just wait for this to get up to 170-ish degrees. I'll also try and show you what it looks like when it gets to the point when you want to take it off the heat. Instructions always say it will coat the back of your spoon. Well, it always coats the back of your spoon because you just dipped your spoon in the liquid. That doesn't help me. So what I look for is it gets a little gloopy around the edges. Again, not fancy chef talk, but you'll see it.
Okay.
So,
as a point of reference, when I was a barista, we would steam lattes to about 140 or so for people. And when I'm frying, I'm usually going up to 350. So 170, like below the boiling point of water, but like hotter than a latte. Just like in a range of things. Like that's
that is
where we're at,
awesome.
yeah.
Yes.
Because it's not hot. Like we're not getting it like aggressive.
No.
But it's still like it would burn your mouth if you drank it straight out of the cup.
And then we just want to get,
The
again,
color
this
is
is
nice and yellow now. It's nice.
that's that egg yolk.
Yeah.
It is just beautiful.
So the egg yolk is basically taking the place of those stabilizers,
Yeah,
right?
it's an
instead of having a
emulsifier.
gum, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then it also adds a lot of richness. I guess we should talk about ice cream. If you're making ice cream that is not savory, one of the things I do is if I want to make, I call them easy to love flavors, right? Right.
I love that. Yeah.
Everybody knows it's an easy to love. It's what you expect in ice cream. Like I'll make a birthday cake ice cream when it's February and it's our birthday. So the staff loves it. Like it's like, we have real ice cream that's not going to challenge us. But so instead of adding more sugar, which sugar is not, to me, just not an interesting flavor. You have to have some for science reasons. But to add more just to make things sweet, So what I'll do if I want it to be a friendly flavor and I'm looking for sweet, I'll add vanilla.
Ah.
So that will instantly make it really friendly. If you add too much vanilla, it tastes like something from Dairy Queen. I have learned that. Oh, so that is, and which is fine. No shade on Dairy Queen. I grew up with the peanut butter parfaits.
Peanut butter. I grew up with like TCBY.
The country's best
The
yogurt.
country's best yogurt.
So
You guys
I
remember
hear.
TCBY?
Okay, so
Okay, it smells amazing.
here is some nice toasty corn.
Little brown.
little
I don't know if-
brown.
Can you guys see it? Are you good?
Can you
Okay.
see things?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to. So this is, again, you would make this a day ahead of time. This I made, there's corn here that I made yesterday, so we can actually churn ice cream tonight, that we don't have to sit around and wait and watch it cool, because that's not that exciting.
Oop, not 4, just 3.
How's it looking?
It wasn't moving, so I decided we're gonna
We're gonna.
put it from 2 to 3.
So when we opened up our scoop shop at Garver, there was talk of, oh, do you want to have a viewing window? And I thought this is not an exciting process. Like I put things I mix things in a big, and then I put it into a machine, and 10 minutes later it comes blooping out. Like it's about as exciting as this, where you just sit around and you're kind of waiting for something to happen.
Okay.
What are we at here? See my.
Just about 100.
Is this thing even working?
Yeah, I mean, it was moving up and it went down when you pulled it up. So I think it is working. Although, Lauren, do you have another thermometer if we needed to test?
Do you have a good thermometer? Like
A good one.
a good one?
I've got some.
Yeah, okay.
Probably not worse than this.
Okay,
So-
so this is our base. We're
so
waiting
this is
for
our
it to get
base.
to 170. And once it's there,
And once it's there, we are going to blend it with our new corn,
okay.
and then we're gonna let it cool down a little bit, and then put it in the. Is there anything special I need to know about how this works?
Nope.
Just stick it in here and see what it says.
Yes.
I like this digital stuff very much. This newfangled digital temperature reading is,
112, 113-ish. Yeah, okay.
well, we can go up a little bit. 14. Okay, how do we turn this up? Here we go. I mean, there's slow and low, and then there's nothing. So
This is always the balance I'm trying to hit when I'm making like soft scrambled eggs. Like you want them really low so they get nice and creamy. My husband calls them gloopy eggs, which is they're delicious in my defense.
yeah, don't sell them like that.
No,
That's not
sell
the
them like gloopy eggs.
gloopy eggs.
120. Oh, here it goes.
Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there.
All right,
This
do
will
we-
be fine.
Do you want to?
Yeah, we can remove that one.
Although
Or is it
Is it
working
working?
now? I don't know.
no, I mean, well, I don't know, a little bit. Technically, yes, sort of. Technically, sort of.
The excitement of making ice cream. Is everyone on the edge of their seat? Surely somebody has some questions. Now would be the time to really come up with something. I don't
Flavor
know.
that you tried to make that didn't work.
Oh, this was one of my favorites. So lemongrass hibiscus.
That sounds really
what
good.
I know. Like I steep hibiscus flowers overnight in the base, and I add some lemongrass. And I always have to taste my ice cream like the day after, because the flavors, it takes some time for them to kind of come together. So I came in after, it was beautiful, it was pink, it was lovely, it tasted like fish.
What?
I was traumatized. I haven't tried that again. I haven't tried hibiscus at all since then, because I don't even know where to start to adjust my recipe. It tastes, I swear, I threw that. I'm super not an Instagram person. Like I should be better at this. I took a picture of the big glob of pink ice cream in the garbage, and I was like, "This is R.I.P. lemongrass hibiscus. May you not taste so fishy next
May
time.
you not taste so
But
fishy.
I haven't tried it again because I don't even know how to fix that.
Oh my gosh, that's really, really funny.
I know. So that one didn't work. The weirdest one, for me, I've made
Yeah.
a lot of weird ones. The weirdest one for me was baked beans.
Oh, wow.
But you think about baked beans, right? There's brown sugar, you
They
get a
are
little
sweet.
smoke, right? They're sweet. So I kind of played that up, but I really did I didn't use the stuff with pork. I'm not a monster, but I took just the baked beans and and you know what baked beans taste like but you're eating them as an ice cream.
And they're cold.
And it was really hard to wrap my brain. I try to do that. That's
Yeah.
like a thing I try to do is to make people kind of think differently. But this one was really hard for me. It's like it's baked beans. It's delicious, but should I feel like it's delicious? I don't know.
Like, this is like a savory...
It was real weird.
Texture is going to be key there, I think.
Well, I blended the heck out of them. So it was nice and smooth, and it was, it had those brown sugar notes, a little bit of smoke,
We're getting there here.
a little bit of baked bean. So,
I mean, that sounds really good.
yeah, it was interesting.
Do you ever feel like you need to put a warning on an ice cream, like, this is really salty or this is really spicy, so that people don't come back and are like, that was so spicy, I died?
I do. I used to do a lot of grocery store demos because I sell by the pints in grocery stores. And so you would be sitting there with your table and people would, they'd see ice cream and they didn't really want to interact with you. But they really did want ice cream.
Yeah.
And so I'd have the flavors and I'll have like a little sign and it'll say
interact with you.
spicy, they're afraid you're going to make them buy it. I just wanted somebody to talk to me because I'm sitting there for 3 hours. And if somebody doesn't talk to me, that's a really long time.
It is.
So, I would have the Mexican hot chocolate, and it would say spicy because it's spicy.
It is.
And but people would see chocolate, and they wouldn't. Nobody's thinking, oh, there might be peppers in that ice cream. So
Chili in that
they
ice
didn't want to necessarily interact with me. So they would sometimes wait until I was talking with somebody else, and then like grab it and run. And I think, oh, you're gonna get such a bad surprise. Like you should have. But also I have a sign. Like I have a sign that says spicy, but people don't read signs. So they just see the ice cream and they're like, ah.
God, that's so funny.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I do. I try to warn people, like really, it's how do you feel about spice? And sometimes people will be like, no, and I say, don't do it.
Don't do
Trust
that.
me.
I think that, like, you've got a spicy peanut butter one too. And I always think about like the thing that you do when you've got very spicy food, right, is you want something creamy, usually, to help kind of diffuse the capsaicin or to like address
Right.
it. Yeah, see how we're doing there.
See,
So yeah, you have that creaminess there to like cut the spice already,
And-
but then sugar does too, right? Like
Right.
the peanut butter has sugar and fat.
and then it's cold, so you think, oh, like this is spicy. I can eat the cold, creamy thing to help cool down my mouth, and then but you can't. 'Cause
It's the balance that you're striking with like a. Oh, stop. It's the balance you're striking with like a spicy cocktail too, like an entrees.
Yeah.
Have you had the entrees stuff? Yeah. All right, we're getting up above 150. I believe that's 160.
Okay.
So let's give it like one more minute here, and I think we're ready to rock.
Well, and you can see it's also kind of there's a little bit of a rim around the edge that kind of stays there attached to the pan even after you swirl it a little bit. So that's kind of, we are getting close.
Yeah, I see it
Yeah.
for sure.
Stacy,
Okay.
we do have a question.
Oh,
what
thank you.
flavor are you most proud of inventing? And maybe it's the baked beans.
Am I most proud of?
Yes.
I love that question.
Ooh, I should have studied. That's interesting. I'm trying to think. There are a few that are what I would consider kind of just like hitting the sweet spot for Calliope, where it's something that's in the world of food, not usually in the world of ice cream, people are skeptical, but when they try it, oh my gosh. One of the things probably has to be celery sorbet, which I know is not technically an ice cream. It is a sorbet, but it is so good. And it really is just, I blended up a thing of celery, leaves and all, with sorbet base and froze it. And it's, so I don't know, proud. Should I be proud that I put celery into a sorbet? I don't know what that says about me. But that's a really good, that one is like the lowest expectations to the best outcome, I guess.
It sounds like a palate cleanser, like something to have in between, right?
You eat it and you're like, why don't people use celery more often in desserts? I don't know.
It's a really good.
They should. They should. I can attest.
Right. I think we're just about there.
All right.
So
Yeah.
see.
So it's looking like even when you kind of scrape the sides, it still kind of comes back to cling to the sides.
Okay.
So, and again, it doesn't have to be super exact. You just want to heat it up so that it all plays nice together.
All right. Let's see what.
Let's see with the good thermometer.
Yeah.
Oh, getting up there, getting up there.
160 and rising.
Oh.
161, 162. Oh, come on. We're really close. Okay. The impatient girl in me wants to be like, just like, click it up one more, you know?
Let's turn it to 10.
Turn it to 10 to scramble the eggs. Okay. Literally.
Yeah, no, it's at 163. So, trying to follow directions.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want it to like. Ooh, I want it at 6. It's almost too sensitive.
I don't know about that one either. So this one is showing that I'm actually at like 170.
That's good.
So that's fine. That's what I've been doing at home. So
Amazing. Okay.
we're
good to go.
we are good to go. So what we're gonna do now is blend. Is this blender plugged in?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is plugged in because it wasn't, and then it was.
Okay.
Another
And-
question.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on bitter-based ice cream like grapefruit, Campari, or Malort, which I would rather die than have a Malort ice cream?
Are you kidding?
Chicago?
I've made Malort ice cream. I've made Malort grapefruit, and we right now have Campari grapefruit ice cream. So obviously, I am a fan. No, I love it. Again, it is the cool thing about some of those bitter flavors, with the exception of Malort, which was stayed Malort no matter what I did with it. It kind of the dairy kind of softens it a little bit. And so you get, like, especially with grapefruit or with the Campari, you get kind of a kinder, gentler version. And it's kind of the same thing. Thank you. It's kind of the same thing with like gin. You get that flavor, but it's not like hitting you in the face. So I love bitter.
Sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, it is, and I've made it also as a sorbet.
Nice.
How
do you decide whether you're going to do something as a sorbet or an ice cream?
Sometimes I do both.
Okay.
It just depends on, sorbets have, the flavor is there's no dairy, so it's a lot cleaner flavor. I don't know if that's sharper but then you've got more sugar. It's going to be sweeter, but there's no dairy to kind of mask things.
Okay.
So it really depends, sometimes I try to always have some kind of a sorbet or non-dairy up in the window. It doesn't always happen. It just depends on how quickly we go through things. But Yeah, so and sometimes I do both. Like I've had both out at the same time just to kind of see, compare and contrast. Same, like I did a mango, I think it was a mango jalapeno last year where I made sorbet and then I made ice cream and I had them both out. So you could try.
Sounds really good.
Same ingredients, but different vibe.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Have
right,
we
moment
used
of
this
truth.
before? I don't know.
I think you
Let's-
need to do the start stop like to make it do
Okay,
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna start it on low. There we go. So with this, you don't want to blend it a ton.
I'm like nervous for your computer to be so close to it. Because it was hot when it came off the thing.
I live dangerously. Well, this is great. It times it. That's nice. This is a really great blender.
Castex, only the fanciest blenders.
I know, man. This is. Give me one of these. This is nice. So I want to blend the corn. I found when I was first playing with corn ice cream that if I kept corn whole, I thought, oh, that could be really good to keep some corn whole. No, it's not good at all. It is terrible. It is,
Good to know.
yeah, no, it was both icy and gummy.
Ew.
Yeah, right? So, okay. So this is our sweet corn base. This is what we now have to chill for 4 hours or the next day.
I feel like making it the day ahead is a really nice idea.
Get all the corn out of there.
Some additional people are commenting. Laura was the one who asked the Malort question. She said that was her wedding, and that.
Laura and Darren.
Yep.
Yes.
But another person is wondering how much booze can you add, considering it affects the freezing point.
That's a really good question.
It's a really good question. I haven't gone too far with that yet. If I want something to be, say, I mean, it kind of depends on how strong the booze is that I'm using. So I will make like, we're doing the stuff that I'm churning today because I can't churn this, so,
Okay.
excuse me. While I get this blending, maybe. There we go. This base I made yesterday.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Ooh.
So it depends on how strong the booze is. Like I will put 12 ounces of gin into 2.5 gallons of base.
Corn.
So not a ton. I don't want to get the government involved. I don't want to have to card people. And I do want it to still freeze. If there's more, like I've done, a State Line distillery has their coffee liqueur, and that's a lower alcohol. So I've done maybe like 18 ounces in that. So yeah, so it really depends. I haven't ever gone too far with it where I've had to just invite my coworkers back for boozy smoothies afterwards. Although I'm sure that they would not mind.
They would not mind.
Okay, so I'm really just blending this for about 20 seconds.
Okay.
Starting low, going bigger. And
Okay, so
now.
I want to show which ice cream maker you're using because
Yeah.
this was something that you like. I was specifically saying, like, this is the one. It was a Cuisinart of like
Yeah.
2 quart.
Yep. And it is awesome. It's Cuisinart does not pay me to say this. Like I said, I had to learn how to.
Yeah. Oh.
I had to learn how to make ice cream, and so
This is the model.
I wanted.
Again, we are not shilling for this because
Well,
they're not paying us.
Cuisinart, call me. But no, it is great. So I don't know. I mean, this is just, and this is what my batch freezer is at my shop too. Is it's really just a very cold thing that then has a scraper that goes around and it will scrape off the cold stuff that's frozen to the outside blend it back in. That's all it is.
The one that I had involved buying rock salt and
I had one of those
ice. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say that the fact that my ice cream wasn't great was not my fault. It was not my fault. It was the ice cream maker.
Clearly.
Yeah. But this is cool. So this actually gets cold because it plugs in.
No.
Oh no.
All this does is turn.
Move it around.
There's a lid with a.
It's back there.
It's
Okay,
back
that's
there.
fine.
Anyway,
Do it back there.
this is loud. That is the one bad thing. Whatever. It's for 15 minutes. It's a little loud, and then you end up with ice cream. Oh no. So, but really, yeah, this is the cold piece. So the deal is, you keep this in your freezer.
Okay.
You freeze it until there's no longer any sloshing that you hear, because it's like
So the
got
ice is
a
in
cold.
there.
Yeah, it's got a cold whatever it is, magical cold thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But then it's got a lid that has just things that go around the side. Wing, 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 wing. 15 minutes.
And it's got to keep it moving because then that will inhibit ice crystals as well, right?
Right. And it just keeps scraping it off the side. So,
Thank you, my darling.
anyway.
Beautiful.
Oh, we are.
Beautiful. Kayla, how are we doing on time?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, we gotta move.
And here I was worried that we wouldn't have anything.
We got plenty. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to next make, I need a blender again. I'm going to next make the topping,
Okay.
which is super easy to make.
I will be right back. I'm gonna get you another blender.
Oh, thank you. So,
Do we have
I'm
another
going
blender?
to-
Yeah. Or can we just rinse that?
Oh,
Sorry.
dead air. So what I'm going to make next is a cilantro lime crema, which is really easy to make. This was the thing that Lindsay tried at the gala event, and people kept coming over and saying like, "Oh, you've got ice cream. I'll come back for dessert." And I'm like, "It's not really
A
dessert.
little rinsey rinse.
It's not really dessert." Okay.
All right,
so
let's do this.
clean most of the corn.
This is crema.
So this is crema.
Let's say, is it already open?
I have cilantro here somewhere.
Yep. Right there. It's this whole thing, right?
Yep, whole thing
Just gonna do it.
and whole thing.
Woo.
I washed this off. If I were making ice cream with this cilantro, I would have hit it in some sanitizer.
I picked crema up recently for something, and I'm newly obsessed with it. It's like thinner than like a yogurt. It's like a
Yeah.
lovely, like, kind of slightly sweet,
It's amazing.
acidic dairy. I love it.
So zest, one lime, and you can make this sauce, and it will go on everything. That's at least it did in my house. We made it for ice cream, and then pretty soon it's on all the food that you're making. And even I had a few people at the gala say, "Oh, I don't really like cilantro." I'm not a person that's in love with cilantro either, but in this case, you should again try it. I think the dairy kind of calms that cilantro down a little bit.
Dairy is magic. This is a lesson that we're learning tonight.
Dairy is magic.
Yeah. All right.
Good enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So tangy, creamy, the dairy, like this is a very aromatic.
Mm-hmm. Just really trying to kind of deconstruct and then reconstruct Mexican street.
Okay. Lid right there.
Lid right here.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
Ooh, this is really nice. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's lovely.
It's gorgeous. All
I
right.
know. Bowl.
Throw this guy in there.
We didn't even get around to making
Oh, the crispy chip.
the crispy chip.
Do we have
do
other
we have
crispy
time?
chips? We are low on time.
Okay. Well,
But it's fairly simple, right? So you take this, and
Yep.
you brush it with a little bit of olive oil, put this on a sheet pan, and then sprinkle it with your little spice mixture.
yep.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, or
Yeah.
even easier, buy some Takis.
Buy some Takis. Be happy. Yeah. So do we want to make these tonight? Did you bring or do we?
I mean, we can.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It just take a few minutes, and
Yeah.
we gotta get the combi oven going,
Yeah.
doing its little thing.
I don't know where the
So I need another sheet pan.
big sheet pan and little sheet pan. Little sheet pan?
And we've got,
Do it.
you can also use like spray oil, or do you have any paper towels or?
Do you want spray oil?
Sure.
While we're getting fancy.
But yeah, right. This is-
Mm-hmm.
So just hit it a little bit. Oh, here. I feel like this is gonna come flying out. Oh, hush. I'm gonna do a spray over here. Oh. So we just need a little bit. Don't get crazy with it.
Yeah, because you don't want it to like fry in it. You just want it to like
no,
crisp up
you
a little
just
bit.
kind of need something to keep the seasoning sticking to it. So this is measuring spoon
teaspoons, like little.
somewhere.
Beautiful. There you go.
I'm holding them incorrectly.
Okay. So I believe
Okay, we got 1 teaspoon of sugar. Oh,
okay, a teaspoon of sugar.
teaspoon of sugar. Teaspoon of salt. This is great, actually, for lots of things.
And I did the chili, half a teaspoon of the chili.
Okay, a teaspoon of smoked paprika.
I love smoked paprika.
I love it too. I just got some new smoky spices from the Deliciouser, which I'm
Oh.
obsessed with. But I got an espresso salt. It's called Barista. It's really, really great with the roasted coffee in there. And also like something called Pacific Smoke. It's just like a smoky sea salt. Really good.
Okay.
And you already did the chili and
And
then a
then-
half teaspoon of cumin.
Okay. So, and
Which-
like I said, this is just kind of extra. This also is really good on fruit, by the way. This, you'll get this little spice mix. Super good on fruit.
So do you chop them up before you put the spice on them or after?
I'm
Because
trying
you
to
could
remember.
just toast them and then crunch them, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true too. You can do so many things,
All right.
and it's all correct. Right? Don't you
all
love that? That's
correct.
why I like the kitchen. Does it taste good to you? Yes, then it works.
So tomato's gonna come back in August. Any other flavors that are coming?
I just figured out. We're gonna try a new one. I have an assistant now. They help me make the ice cream, which is great. For 5 years, it was just me. But now I've got somebody else, which also means more people to talk to about crazy ideas, which is dangerous. And they said, "Have you ever tried absinthe and Coke?"
Ooh.
And I said, "Of course I have not. Who does that?" And they said, "It's really good." And I was like, "Okay, let's try it." So we're trying an absinthe and Coke
How do I shut
sorbet.
this?
I think you gotta kind of slam it a little bit. There you go. Show it who's boss.
Okay.
Take out the humidity.
Take out the humidity. Okay. And like 5 minutes? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
all right.
We'll see. We got it. So we're gonna try that one, and I'm gonna play up the fennel in the absinthe instead of like hitting you over the head with kind of the black licorice
Nice.
flavor, which you're gonna get hit over the head with anyway. So, so we'll see how that one goes. We're gonna start playing with that next week.
that will be really
I've
fun.
got to pick up some absinthe. I stop on my way into work at Woodman's
Yeah.
when the liquor store opens right at 9 o'clock in the morning.
And just buy absinthe at 9 a.m.
Yeah, I know. It's me and like it's like the most interesting humanity.
I love it. All right.
And I'm always in there. I'm like buying the cheapest gin. I'm like,
Yeah.
because you don't want the good gin.
You're gonna put it. Yeah, you're gonna.
No, I want the gin that is the bottom shelf. Like I want the stuff they don't even sell. Like it's like so. Anyway, yeah, that's what I do in my mornings.
So we've got all of our different elements here. Are you gonna assemble the final sundae with ice cream that's made, or are we waiting for the ice cream to be done?
We can wait for ice cream to be done. It should be done shortly. I should probably talk with Lauren and see how that
Is going?
is going. It's in the other room. Can I go in the other room and look?
I mean, Lauren can also tell us. Give me one moment.
So,
What is the status
any
of
other
our ice cream?
questions? I like that one of my weddings.
Couple more minutes.
I do a few weddings, 10 a year maybe, for people who want, they
Did you
don't
bring any ice
want
cream?
cake, or maybe they have a little cake, but they just want something different. And so it ends up being a lot of fun, actually.
We have a few more minutes yet on the ice cream.
Okay.
It's still churning away.
Okay.
So,
Right
you know,
on.
What we could do is I can pour the beautiful wine that we have. We can assemble all of our toppings and just let people know, like, okay, these are the other things that are happening, right?
Right.
So, we've got beautiful queso,
Yeah.
this gorgeous sauce.
Yep.
What else is going on the Sunday?
Tahine.
Okay.
So imagine, if you will, this bowl with a scoop of yellow sweet corn ice cream,
Okay.
a drizzle of green cilantro lime crema, probably a teaspoon-ish of the cotija. It's
What's
a little
this guy?
funky. If you haven't had it, it's good, but it's got a little bit. It's a little funky, which I like.
Oh, yeah.
And then a hit of the tahine. Again, if you haven't had that, it's there's spices, but there's a lot of lime, so it's got kind of a sharp flavor, which is great because you've got the creamy ice cream and the funky cheese and a little bit of this. So
Okay.
that is how that does.
That's beautiful. All right. I mean, any other questions that we have? Kayla, any other questions from our wonderful audience? No,
Nothing right now.
Okay.
I mean, I have some ice cream here. It's in the far back.
Okay.
That's already done.
Do we want to just demo with that for a
We
little bit?
can,
Yeah.
if it's at scoopable temperature.
Let's find out.
Well, let's
All
find
right,
out.
okay.
So I've been making so much ice cream. Like my house is just, it's full of ice cream, which is not really a problem. I just bring it when I go to places, friend's house. I'm like, oh, how do you feel about sweet corn ice cream?
All right, everyone's going to grab it.
Okay, well, cool.
Yeah. And we'll just do our little demo with that. And then as soon as the sweet corn ice cream is done, because it's still churning,
Yeah.
we'll bring that out for our wonderful folks here. Does that sound good? Okay.
Hey, this was great.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know, no blood. A good kitchen.
blood?
No, everybody's no fingertips missing. Everything. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a good chaotic kitchen, which is.
Have you ever seen the kind of ice cream makers where you can like toss it as a ball, like in the pool
Yes.
or whatever? Does that work?
I don't think it works that well. I think it's kind of fun. Where that works is if you have little kids, because it makes you end up with like a half a cup of ice cream, right? Like
Okay.
it's a tiny amount, but you can put it in the ball, and you've had the ball freezing, and then you make they kick it around in the yard for 30 minutes. And then they can each have like a tablespoon of ice cream. That's kind of how that. I mean, it's fine.
It doesn't make very much, in other words.
No, it doesn't make very much, and it's not going to be great ice cream. But again, if you're just trying to feed some kids,
That's true.
So this is about how much ice cream I have been ending up with.
Okay.
So let's see. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is not bad. This is not bad.
Is that how you would store it, like at home? You put it in a Tupperware, kind of like that?
I do. Ugh. Come on. Okay. So there's that. And
I like you push this back just a little bit. So it's...
we can get a spoon. Here, we can use this spoon.
Ooh. Okay, that's really fun.
Super pretty. And then a little cotija, which I should also measure, because if I don't measure it, I will end up dumping it out all over and we'll have nothing but cotija for days. Is this thing come undone? No. I knew I should have more spoons out here or something. Do you have any spoons that aren't attached to?
We have scoopers.
Okay, I'll take a scoop. So, you don't need too much of this. Just a little bit. Come on.
Those are toasting and they look actually pretty good.
Okay.
I tend to like things browner than other people though. So I feel like I wouldn't pull them for me, but I might pull them for you.
All right. I'm just trying to get the tahini open.
All right.
Okay. There's the plastic thing. Not good. Let's see. Do I have everything? Is this everything?
What do you think?
Right on.
Thanks, Connie. You really do gotta slam her.
Yeah, you do. Have to show that combi oven who is boss.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the wrong way. No wonder it wasn't working.
I'm not gonna touch that because it's hot.
Yeah, be careful.
I feel like, yeah, you don't get chef hands if you're making ice cream.
No, you don't. We've got very delicate hands.
What do you think, another minute in there?
Oh, this would be fine. This is just a supporting player, right?
Okay.
Like this is just, and you can cut them into triangles. You can cut them into strips. You can, but this is all my. Am I not missing anything? Right? I feel like we've got the whole. We've got everything strewn out here. Yay! All right.
Let's put it
Success.
right in here. That's the final product. Look at that. Gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Well, this was awesome.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, Kayla will take us out.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Staci, for the wonderful ice cream. And I think our winner tonight will be Donna.
Nice.
She asked, what is the flavor you're most proud of? And I think
Yay.
that was such a sweet question.
So,
Well, thank you.
Donna, you could go to Leopold's and pick up your wine. That's where your wine will be. And congratulations. Thank you so much, Staci.
Thank you. This was great. All right. I hope you guys are hungry.
Woohoo! Ice cream time.
It's ice cream time.